So I'm Eric Horton, as you know, and Alan Jeeves coming up here. And we're going to take you through an exercise today where we teach you how to build an ebook using Creative Book Builder. And so the idea behind this session is really thinking about this from a standpoint of if you were going to build an ebook that you would distribute to students as part of a flipping the classroom kind of a model or something, so you're creating content for them to consume. But the way that we're going to have you do this is a way that I think you'll probably go well if the students had this app. There's all kinds of, project-oriented things that they could do with it. So this is kind of a session that's going to be both from an instructor's and a student's perspective. So we're going to spend about 20 minutes just going over the basic features of how to do things, kind of demonstrating, and you can practice something real quick. And then what we're going to do after that, the bulk of the session, we're going to spend about 40 minutes or so sending you out around campus. What we've done is we've identified 5 locations on campus that we've created a little Google Doc, so there's kind of pre-made text that you can import into your ebook. We'll show you how to do that. And what we're going to do is after we've shown you the app, and we'll kind of divide you up into 5 groups. What we want to have is each group go out and go to one of the locations that we've selected for you, and one location that you select yourself. And you'll create an ebook with some parameters that we give you, a couple of chapters of an ebook actually. And then what we're going to do is come back, and everyone will put their ebook in the last half hour, 25 minutes or so. Everybody will put what they made, their 2 chapters, into a Dropbox. And then we'll all have the opportunity to download each other's chapters and compile them into one ebook that we all then have a copy of. Chapters may be in a little bit different order, but doesn't matter. What it's going to be is essentially a tour of the campus created as an ebook. So with that, Alan will start, and Alan and I are going to kind of tag team for a few minutes on showing you how to do various things within Creative Book Builder. So if you want to show it, that's great. You have the outlines and I have the app.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to have to knock me off and go too far on this one because I'm not sure where to stop. All right, so y'all have this open, right? Okay, you want to roll?
I know.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not going to start till everybody has a Creative Book Builder. It's orange and white. It says CBB.
Do we need to make everyone find that?
No, we'll go ahead and open up a book.
Oh, okay.
So, actually,
For right now to practice, so you just create,
Just create a book.
Create a book.
so that's the plus button right here.
What should the title of our book be? Practice.
Okay, so once you have your book created, and I just made a new one called Test Book. Then you click on it and you are in Test Book, or whatever it is that you've called it, and it gives you an automatic chapter. So this interface is not really hard to understand. It's got the 2 columns, right? So if there's a books up here where you can go back to all of your books up in the upper left-hand corner. There's a plus here that if you hit it, it'll give you the opportunity to build chapters or sections. Now you already have a chapter here that I have selected because it's in blue, right? So anything that I do is going to be adding to that chapter. If I hit section here, it'll put a section underneath that chapter. If I hit chapter here, then it gives me an opportunity to go ahead and give it a title. And you can come back and you can change these names anytime you want. Anything you do here isn't set in stone. Give it an alignment, and you can go out by clicking the bottom on the font. I forget you guys can't see what I'm touching. So I just click the bottom where it said font, and I can choose a typeface by clicking on font name. I can change the size, and I can change the color. Once I've done all that, I can hit save.
And that's just how the chapter header shows up in the book.
Right. And then if I hit save here, then you'll see that it put new chapter underneath chapter 1. If I would have made a section, it would have made it a sub-portion underneath that's like an indent on chapter 1. So it would become part of chapter 1 if it's a section, okay? So you can split your chapters into sections.
How do you change?
Go ahead.
How do I change the name on one that's already there?
On one that's already there, you see down at the bottom
Oh.
where it says edit, import, the little gear, and publish?
Yeah.
So while I have chapter 1 highlighted, if I click on edit, then it gives me an opportunity to delete it outright or insert things before or after it. I can't remember how you changed it.
You do, you just get rid of it.
Let's try edit here. Just because that's
There you go.
here.
That's the whole book. Good question, we'll get back to you.
It's just delete and then add another one. Because once
Yeah.
you edit, there's a negative.
There is a way to do it, I just.
So perhaps I misspoke and you can't actually change it once you make a chapter. How to change the title on a chapter.
I'm pretty sure you, oh, you know what, hit edit, actually, this, I think. No. There you go.
The gear.
Okay, so once
The
you're over
gear
here,
next to edit. You have to
this
select.
is the book. This is now the chapter that you're inside of, so that gear icon in the chapter pane, kind of over here, lets you.
And you can change it.
I
Yep.
knew you could do it.
Oh, I see.
That's not really true, but there you go. Okay, so I'm going to show you after, at this point, I'm going to show you how to put in text, page breaks, and headers. So I'm in chapter 1, and I can add an element here. When I click on that, you see I've got text file, or media file, miscellaneous along the top, and I've got title, paragraph, markdown, and HTML. One on top of the other going down towards the bottom. So I'm going to add a textual item, and my title that I'm going to put in is really original. Now that I have that, I can put it up. Oops, if I click on it, it comes back up. I can clear it. And then I have to type it in again. I can change the typeface by hitting font at the bottom, and color and size. And style is how I align it.
Yeah, that's just like a header within the chapter. Yeah.
So there's your title. If I want to get rid of it, then I go to edit, and hitting the minus thing will get rid of it. The gear, actually I didn't have it selected. Oh, I can't select it.
To
No,
change.
the gear
to change-
always goes to the book.
That's the gear is to edit the chapter.
Then the plus button over on the other side allows you to add more underneath it. So now I want to put in a paragraph. Oh, that's not going. Ooh, what if we can spell? All right. And again, you have the ability to boldface, but you need to hit that before you start typing. Bold, italics, and underline.
And you can select text in that and make it bold after the fact.
You do that by pushing down on a word until you get the menu that comes up that is select all, that sort of thing. You can bold it and remove it while it's selected. And then again, change the typeface and all of those ways that we've done the style, or make it a link. So by clicking the link, then you get the opportunity to put in the URL that you want to go to if you click on it. Type changes whether it's going to go out to be a web page, send as an email, push as an SMS message, telephone, link to another chapter inside the book, or link to a glossary term.
Where did you get that link again?
I got that link down at the bottom, right here by the box with the arrow by it. But I had to have it selected. So I had to push down, I'm pushing down on paragraph. When I push again, then I get the select all. And then,
Or you could select and then drag your finger, drag the blue handles to select just the word paragraph, something like that too.
and then I just touch link. And then for the type, I hit that. Okay? Okay, that's a little more in-depth than we wanted to go. Page breaks is what's next.
Yeah, well, markup and HTML, don't worry, those are more advanced, so we're not going to worry about those for right now.
So in order to get to page break, I hit the plus sign and I go over to miscellaneous. And page break is the third one down. So I can put in a page break, and you'll see it just says page break there. In order to see any of this as you're building it, you can just click the preview button over on the side and it'll show it to you. And you can see it in both EPUB and PDF. Now, does anybody need that explained?
Yeah, move to page break.
Okay, page break again is you hit the plus button up here by the chapter, go over to miscellaneous, and it's the third one down.
So you're not actually in the thing where it says this is on paragraph? Oh,
No.
that's correct. You're in the content chapter.
Yeah. So what's EPUB? What's an EPUB? When I go to preview, down at the bottom here it says EPUB and PDF. It is a type of a book. It's the one that iBooks uses most popularly. So it's an ebook format, EPUB. The other one that you can see here is just PDF. I don't think you need an explanation for that, right? Good. Okay. Headers is what's left.
That was the same thing as title.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So,
Any questions on that?
okay, so you can also add other things. You can add all different kinds of media. So you can add an image that just will go to your camera roll. So it'll come up now. You might have to enable location services. A lot of times apps that try to access your camera roll require that you have location services enabled first, but you can go and pick any photo out of your camera roll. You can add a video, and that will also go from your camera roll. But also with photo and video, and this will be important for your field trip, with both photo and video, there's an icon down at the bottom that has a camera on it. And if you click that, then you can take a photo right from your camera or a video right from your camera at that time and have that go into your ebook. So it doesn't have to be something you've already shot. It could be, I'm standing here right now and I want to record this video and dump it right into my ebook. And then you can also add an audio recording where it comes up and you see it start, stop, so I can hit start and I talk here and I just narrate and I stop. And that becomes part of my ebook. So I can do a little narration right there, record part of the script, record the book. If I want to have like each page, you can click here to have it read to you, or I can do a little interview in the field and embed that in the book.
That'd be good for the universal design.
So, and then you can also add music, which you just pull from the music library on your device. So, other than that, there's also one other way that you can add a hyperlink. That's under miscellaneous, and it's here, link. And so then you just put the title, what says here is title. That would be the text that you want to have show up in the link, and then the web address. And one last thing that we need to show you for the project we're about to do is you can import a chapter into your book from different sources, from Dropbox or from Google Docs primarily. And so over here in my book at the bottom where it says import, there's a button second from the left, on the lower left. If I hit import, then I have an opportunity to import in a document from Google Docs, or a PDF file from Dropbox, or an EPUB from either place. And so for what we're about to do, we'll have you import a document from Google Docs. So I'm going to go here and it'll ask, if you're not already logged in eBook Creator or Creative Book Builder, it will ask you to log in. But once you've got the app kind of paired with your Google account, then you can just go and look at all your docs.
So how you log in?
Oh, you hit link?
When you hit import and then get a document from Google Docs, does it ask you to then log in?
Yeah. Didn't ask me, just told me I'm not.
You just need to hit the link button on the upper button, right?
So once you're logged in, then you see your Google Docs here, and you can select one, and it'll import in. So I'm going to import in the administration building document, and I hit start import, and it imports it in. It tells me what it's going to put in there, and I say save that.
I'm logged in now, but what are my documents?
And now I have this paragraph in here as text for a new chapter.
But he's doing Google Docs, right?
And then from there, just like if I wanted to add more to this, I can go type in more. I can save that, and now I have that additional text. All right, let's come together and do the final step. So what we want to do now is aggregate our 4 different chapters into one Campus 4 book. And the way that we're going to do that is, Alan, can you switch over to computer one?
You go down to your tray and close the application. Because did you log out of it, or you just closed?
I don't have that box.
Right.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do next. Some of you, I think, may have done this already, but not everybody. So mine's going to look slightly different because I've already gone through this process once before with it, but I'll explain the differences. So you should have in your group, hopefully, one person who has kind of the project for the group on the Dropbox. If not, we need to move on anyway, so just pick the person who's closest to having the complete thing, okay? And that person, everybody else follow along, that person is going to do this. First, you're going to hit down on the bottom, in the bottom left, you're going to hit publish. And it's going to come up, and if you haven't done this before, you'll just see a big button that says generate book. Okay, mine will look a little different because I've already generated the book. But yours is going to say generate book, and you're going to hit that generate book, and it'll do it, and then it'll say process complete. Okay, the next step you're going to do is after you close the, where it says process complete, you're going to see this again. It'll look now just like mine does. and you're going to hit on upload to Dropbox. And if you aren't already logged into Dropbox, you'll see a little button that you click, and then it'll give you your Dropbox login, and you log in to get logged into Dropbox.
How did you get the info from this computer?
Just close it,
Oh.
and then you'll see that. So now whoever's iPad you're using, go ahead and do that. Log into your Dropbox, and then once it says you're logged in, the folder that we're going to store this in is the Summer Institute 2012 folder, and then Campus Tour ebook. So this one right here, that's where you want to store it. Okay. So now this is the next step here. Everybody can do this, even if you're not the master iPad. Okay, you take your ebook, and what you do is this: you hit import, and this is going to come up, and it's going to say variety of options. What we're going to do is EPUB from Dropbox,
into this program.
and then you'll select the folder, and you'll just go right back to Summer Institute 2012. Campus Tour ebook, and now I can see there's different in here EPUBs that people have put in there. And so you can then import all of the work that the other groups have done. So I'm just going to take the Excellence Bell one right here, and I'm going to import that in, and I'm going to say Start Import. And it's going to come into my ebook. And now you can see I've already got a chapter, all my Administration Bell chapter has, I had the text from the administration building, but now I have whatever was inside that ebook.
No, just kicked me out. Just close the eye.
Mine just did that too, and I just reopened the app and it was there, so that's
We may be in trouble.
But now you can see I go into just chapter 1 that came in, and I've got whatever the Excellence Bell people had in chapter 1.
Yeah, book now.
Okay, so
Hopefully you can rename it.
the last thing, and here's an app that I probably should have you download, I forgot to, but it's free, so you can download it now if you want, if you haven't already. iBooks is Apple's, and I just forgot that it wasn't already built in, because it's an Apple-made app, and I almost think of it as a built-in app, but you have to go download it from the App Store. If once you're done, like you've got imported all the other groups' work, and you say, now I have this completed iBook and I want to actually view it, if you go Publish and Preview Book, and then it'll come up with an open-in window and just pick iBooks, and then it'll swing over to iBooks and it'll import that book. And now it comes up and I can see Administration Building. Now there's one other thing I forgot to show you too, and we're already kind of right at the end, so.
Yes.
One thing I'm just gonna show you, I'm not gonna have you do. If you want to add cover art to your book, you can do that. You hit the little gear icon right next to import under there, and your book settings will come up. And if you just tap initially, you'll see a big white empty space here instead of where mine says Boise State. And if you tap on that, then you can browse your library and find an image. So if you go download like a Boise State logo or something from the web and it's in your camera roll, then you just go to the camera roll and you find it. Here's my Boise State icon that I downloaded and save. And now I have cover art for my book.
So where did you bring
Of
that?
the Boise State logo.
The gear?
The gear on the, the one on the lower left.
And, okay.
So you can add cover art to your book before you generate it, so that in iBooks then, when you're looking at your library in iBooks, after you've gone over to iBooks, whatever you put in there, which instead of this kind of generic test book cover, you have actually the Boise State logo or something as your cover.